Hi everybody, my name is Dr. Amy Borghi and I'm going to be your instructor for Guidance 507 for this next 8-week term. And I'm really excited and want to get started, but first I have a couple things I need to share with you before I get into this video. The first thing is that this right here is my pop filter for my microphone. I have a very old computer and I am, saving up my money to buy a new one. But until I do, I'm going to have to kind of do some crazy things with the microphone because there's a lot of sound issues with my computer. So if you do have a problem hearing me for whatever reason, if this video doesn't turn out well, you can always use the CC button on YouTube for this video to put the captions up on the screen so you could read it. And there's also a way that you can, if you click on the 3 little dots underneath the video in YouTube, you can get an actual transcript of the video and just read it. So hopefully this video will turn out okay. We'll see. The other thing that I need to share with you is that this video is actually really, really important, and it is rather long, because this is basically the stuff that I would be covering if this was an in-person class. It would probably take the whole first class for me to explain to you what you need to do. But because this is an online class, I'm giving you all the instructions here in this video. And so if you don't watch the entire video, you will miss very important information that may affect your grade, because if you don't know what you're doing and you don't know what's going on or how things are supposed to go, then you might mess up. And if you mess up, it might cost you a lot of points. So please stick it out. If you have to, watch it over the course of several days, that's fine. You have a whole week to kind of get this watched and dealt with. So the first thing that you need to know, and I actually took the moment to actually make a little outline of all the things that I need to cover in the video to make sure that you understand what needs to happen. So the first part is that you need to check the announcements every time you log into Canvas. And so I would say you need to log into Canvas at least a few times a week. You probably will find yourself logging in more than once a week anyways, but I do throw up in the announcement section all the important information that comes up throughout the semester. So if there's a change to something, or if something didn't work out, if I cancel an assignment, if I add an assignment that's extra credit that you might need, any of those things, I put those all in the announcement section. The announcement section is the only place where I'm going to be communicating directly with you during the semester, unless you decide to go to one of my office hours, or unless you reach out and try to contact me directly yourself so we can have a one-on-one conversation, which I'm totally open to. I don't mind having one-on-one meetings with students if you want to talk about your grade, the goals that you have for yourself. I actually will be offering, times and dates that you can meet with me if you would like to talk about any of those things. You need to get your materials right away. For this class, I am recommending that you get this book. It's called On Course by Skip Downing, and it has to be the 8th edition. The book looks like this, but this is the teacher's edition. So the actual book is just this little part right here, the teal color, and then this On Course thing. So your book will look like that. It won't have this navy blue border. That's just because I have the teacher's edition and it's a little different than yours, and because I'm the teacher. And if you could, and I would say I really strongly urge you to, get the ebook version of this. And all of my instructions for how to purchase the books and whatnot are going to be referring to the ebook version, because that is the version that I have chosen as the official book for the course. Not the hard copy, but the ebook version. And the reason why is because it is accessible immediately. So you can get it through the bookstore. I know if you are receiving any type of financial aid, you should probably get your book through the bookstore, and they do have copies of the online edition. You may have to contact them directly, because I've noticed every semester they don't always have my books listed. I don't know why. It's just a weird glitch in the system. So anyway, if you go to look up a book at the bookstore and it says it's not listed under my class, you can just call the bookstore and say, hey, can I get a copy of this? And they can line you out with that. Otherwise, I recommend using chegg.com, chegg.com. And I will be posting a video in which I kind of go hunting for the cheapest prices for your textbooks, and you'll see how to access Chegg and all of that in that video, okay? The other book for this class is called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens. And this comes in an audiobook format, which you can use. I don't mind if you just listen to the book. That's fine with me. And if this one came in an audiobook format, I would recommend that too, but I don't think it does, or I would say go for it. You can get the ebook version of this, which I recommend because you can get it right away. But you don't need this book like right this second. This one you need immediately. Like you have assignments out of this book starting right now. And I know that like a lot of people are like, that's not fair that you have assignments right away. Well, this is an 8-week class, so we don't have a lot of time to mess around. We don't have a whole week just to kind of chill and get to know each other. We need to jump right in and start handling our business. And so if you're not feeling like jumping right in, maybe this isn't the right class for you. But if you are ready to jump in, you do need this book immediately. Like I would say, go get it right away, right now. Okay. Your assignment this week, or one of your assignments, because there's actually maybe 5 or 6 assignments this week, is to show me that you have gotten these books, but then also you need a day planner. And I actually don't have my day planner close by to me. It's like over there somewhere. So, but you will need either a daily or weekly day planner. So when you open up the day planner, it's either like a day on each page, or you open it up and it's a week on both of the pages. What I don't want you to get is a monthly planner where you open it up and there's like a whole month on the 2 pages. And that's just because what I'm going to require you to do is going to require you to have a little more room than that to write things down. So if you have like a little tiny box to write all of your assignments in, it's not going to be big enough. So that's why I don't want you to do a monthly one. When you want to turn in the books, you're basically going to take a photo of yourself with the books like this. Or you're going to, if you get the ebooks, you're going to want to take a picture of a page from the very inside of the book to show me that you do have access to the ebook. Don't show me the title page or the pages at the beginning, because you can find those online pretty easily and you could just fake having the book. And so that's why you kind of have to give me a page from the middle of the book for me to be like, oh, okay. Or you can show me the receipt, like, look, I purchased the books, here they are. You can show me like the tracking information showing that it's coming to you. As long as it says the name of the book and that tracking information, then you're good, okay? So again, every time you log into Canvas, check announcements, check to see if anything is new, check to see if I canceled any assignments, check to see if I added anything for you. The second thing I really want to share with you is that you need to follow instructions very carefully in this class. And the reason why is because I do have a lot of like detailed, intricate instructions on assignments. And the reason I do is because it's just sort of like a life skill that everybody should have, is to be able to follow a set of instructions step by step. And a lot of students do struggle with that. And I've noticed, especially in the Opening Doors program, a lot of students are missing valuable points because they are rushing through things and they're not reading the instructions carefully. I do tend to change the instructions up throughout the term. So like if this one assignment is like this, the next one might not be the same way. So you can't just assume that things are going to be the same with the assignments all the way through the term, because I'm telling you right now, that's not the case. And the reason why is because I want you to get used to following the instructions to get your points. And so I might ask you something like, in 5 sentences, answer this question. Or for each of the questions in this, you need to use at least 5 sentences. That happens a lot. Or you need to use 3 sentences to respond to somebody, respond to someone's post in a discussion. So you need to make sure that you look at the sentence requirements in terms of what is the length of response that I'm looking for, because I do tell you exactly how many sentences I would like you to put in each response, and I do take off points if you don't do that. And some students are like, that's not fair, I don't like that. You know, they get mad at me because I'm requiring, you know, the specific amount of sentences. But in reality, like, we all have to use instructions throughout our lives. And when we don't follow the instructions properly, it can lead to some really bad consequences. Like, let's say you're at work and your boss says, do A, then B, then C. and you go and just kind of do it however, and you forget what your boss said, and you just sort of do whatever, and you forget to do C, you might get fired for that. So I'm just trying to help you guys to, I guess, make sure you follow through and read those instructions, and especially on like tests and things like that. A lot of people just assume they know what to do when in reality, like the instructions are saying something different. So please follow instructions carefully in this class. When you're doing assignments, you also need to use good spelling, grammar, and punctuation. I do grade on this, and I do recommend using the program Grammarly. It's a free program at grammarly.com, and you can just sign up for it. And all you have to do is write up your stuff in your word processing program, like whether it's, Google Docs, Pages, or Microsoft Word, and then just copy and paste that into Grammarly, and it will check it for you. And then you can just copy and paste it into Canvas, and it'll be great. All right. So a lot of times I ask you in your assignments to include the questions in the prompts, or I'll say, copy and paste this portion of the assignment into the text box and then answer the questions. And if you fail to do that, you will lose points. And that's because for me, when I'm grading, I like to just see the question and then the answer. It's really just like, it's easier for me to see it all there. But then also, like if you go back to that assignment, like let's say like 3 months after the class is over, you go back into Canvas and you see that assignment and you look at it and you can see what you're responding to. So that's kind of good. What else? There are some technical problems and things that pop up every semester with Canvas and just with life. So let me kind of tell you how I handle these sorts of problems when they come up. So if you do run into your problem with Canvas while you're trying to upload an assignment, what you need to do is immediately contact me. I respond fastest to text. So if you want to get a hold of me right away, text me. My phone number is 909-224-1204. And I'll be giving this to you over and over and over, and it's in the syllabus. It's pretty easy to find, but that is the fastest way to reach me. If you run into a Canvas difficulty or problem, I expect that you will either email me or text me or call me and let me know you're having a problem. If you're struggling to upload something and it's not uploading properly, if Canvas isn't working, you are welcome to email the assignment to me, but only if Canvas isn't working. Please don't email me assignments for any other reason, only if Canvas is not accepting your assignment and it's about the due date and you can't seem to get it to upload. So at that point then, just email it to me, let me know what's going on. That way I know in the moment that it's happening, and I can see when you're having the problem, so I can go back to that time and check Canvas and see what was going on. I can actually go into Canvas and see if there's been a technical problem or an issue, or I can see where you're attempting to upload and it's not working. So I can see when there's errors and issues in Canvas most of the time if you're having a problem. And if I can confirm that with Canvas, then I will work with you to make sure you get time to turn that assignment. I do not, like if your internet dies right before you're turning in the assignment or something like that, like let's say you waited till the last minute to turn it in and your assignment's due Monday at 11:59 and you waited till 11:50 to turn in your assignment and now it's not working and your internet is down, and you call me at that point and say, my internet's down and I'm struggling to turn in the assignment. I will say something to the effect of, I understand that you're struggling with this, but is there another place you can go to access the internet in the next 5 minutes? Because you should have like a backup location. So like if your location doesn't work, maybe your neighbors or maybe somebody else in the area could help you out so you could get access to the internet so you can upload your stuff. But when you leave it to where you've only got like 5 minutes or 10 minutes left, I'm just gonna say you waited too long. You shouldn't wait till 10 minutes before to turn in your homework. And so if you're having internet problems 10 minutes before the assignment's due and you can't turn it in because of that, I'm going to just say sorry. I'm not going to accept your assignment at this point because you had a whole week to work on it. So that's the other thing, is like you have a whole week to do your assignments. I usually assign them on Mondays, and then you have till the following Monday at 11:59 p.m. to turn in the assignment. But what I would love, and what my goal for you and kind of for me too, is to get all of the work for the week done by Friday. So even though it's not due till Monday, like just try to get everything turned in by Friday. So that way you have the weekend to do whatever you want and like relax, or you can read ahead and get ahead with stuff. But the goal here in this class is to work on our time management, or work on the way that we manage ourselves. And I'm going to be sharing a lot of things that will help you. But one thing that I would like to see you work on is to not turn in your work the day it's due. Because if you have a problem turning it in or uploading it or something like that, oftentimes if it's the day your assignment's due, there might not be enough time to fix the problem. But if you go to turn it in Friday and there's an issue, you still have like 3 more days to turn it in, so you can work it out and fix it. And you can call me and say, hey, look, I'm having this and that problem, and I can troubleshoot with you and help you figure it out. So I don't want you to wait till the last minute to turn in your assignments. I get it that I can't stop you from doing that because, it's your life and it's your choices. But I suppose if you're trying to work on bettering yourself and becoming a better student, like a lot of people say they want to while they're here in this class, then try turning in your work early and just see how different your life is because of that. When you kind of do things ahead of time, it frees you up so you can actually have free time. You don't have to worry about all the stuff that you have to do while you're doing fun stuff. And that means you can actually like enjoy the fun you're having, which is cool. So if there's like a whole outage, like let's say all of Rancho Cucamonga goes down, like the internet's down, I will obviously give everybody an extra day to fix that. If Canvas is down, so like if Canvas isn't working and everybody's having problems uploading and they can't do it, I will, give extra time based on the situation for people to turn things in. I'm not, trying to screw you up or make things hard for you. And if there really is a situation that affects everybody and no one can turn it in, obviously I'm going to give you more time or a way to figure it out. But if it's something that's just you, like just your house, just your internet or your computer or your situation, then I probably won't give you extra time to complete that assignment. So I really strongly urge you to turn in your work early to avoid any of those types of problems. And I hate having to say, no, I'm not going to take that assignment, but I will do it. I will be very firm about it because I care about you. And if I give you this, if I tell you these are the rules and this is the structure, I'm going to follow through with those rules, regardless of who you are. So any student, it doesn't matter if it's you or somebody else, if the situation is where you waited till the last minute and now you're having an internet issue at the last minute, I'm going to say sorry. Next time, try turning your work in on Friday or Saturday, and this won't happen again. And I hopefully that will teach you to get things in earlier, hopefully. So my intentions are good. I'm not just trying to be, rude or mean. I'm trying to help you, okay? So there's some other technical problems with Canvas that happen quite a bit. So let me go over those with you. And this is really important that you listen and take notes on it and know what to do in these situations. So the first one, you're going to come across this with your first assignment, and that is, uploading your books. Like I bought these books, and I'm going to upload them. Now you're going to have maybe 2 or 3 files that you need to upload at the same time. And the way Canvas works, and maybe if you've taken other classes, you already know this, but if you're new to Canvas or you're new to Chafee or you're new to online, then you're going to be shocked when you find out that you can't upload things separately for the same assignment. So like if I have these 2 books to upload, I have to upload them both at the same time. Or otherwise, if I upload this one and then I upload this one bumps this one out. And so only this one's going to be there. So what you have to do is you upload the first one and then click add another, and then you'll add another, and then you'll say you want to add another, you can. And you add as many as you want. And I think you can upload up to 2 megabytes at once, 2 gigabytes at once. So you could upload up to 2 gigabytes at once. So, like a few photos is not going to be more than that. So you're set. So you'll upload each one until they're all in there together, and then press upload. And that's the only way to do it. Otherwise, whatever is the newest thing is going to bump the old things out. And that goes for all assignments too. So like when you turn in, let's say you turn in an assignment and you want to redo it, which I will allow you to do as long as the due date is still open. So like let's say it's Monday and you already finished your assignment for next Monday and you upload it, but then you figure out, oh, I did something wrong, and you want to re-upload it, when you upload that assignment again, it will bump the old one out, which I guess is kind of convenient if you're just trying to bump that one out anyways. So that is a known issue with Canvas. It's just the way Canvas is set up, and I don't know why it's set up that way, but that is what we're working with. So I wanted to let you know so you're not shocked and surprised when you get there. The next one is Canvas times out, and I hate this. Like, it's happened to me so many times. So I'll be creating an assignment in Canvas and just typing away, and then something will happen. The doorbell rings, my cat pukes on the floor or something, and I have to stop and go deal with it. But I forgot to like save my work. So what happens is I come back, I sit down, and everything looks fine. Like, there's nothing wrong. And I can even sit there and continue to type for a while. And then when I go to upload it or, save it, it just says, sorry, your request timed out. And you lose everything. I've lost everything so many times. So what I would suggest, or just this as a workaround, is to do your work in another app, I do most of my work in Microsoft Word. And then I'll just move it over to Canvas. I'll just copy and paste it into the Canvas text box. And that way I don't have to deal with Canvas timing out, because I think it's like only 5 minutes. So like if you're away for 5 minutes and you come back, it's already timed out. And if you're working on an assignment, and especially if you put a lot of work and effort into it already, and then you have to do it all over again, like you're gonna be really mad. So that's why I'm telling you now, don't let Canvas time out. And if you're gonna, if your mom's like, take out the trash, just like, hold on, Mom, let me just save this stuff. And I would recommend saving it in another application like Google Docs or something like that. Just copy and paste whatever you've got so far in Canvas into Google Docs, so that way you can pull it later and put it back in there. Yeah. Okay, so the next one is, I don't want you to use links to assignments in Canvas because it doesn't work very well. There is a plugin for Google Docs, but I don't actually have it plugged in. So that means that Google Docs, when you try to just put a link in your assignment box that leads me to the Google Doc, in Canvas, this will not work unless you do it a really specific and weird way. And honestly, it's too much of a pain in the butt for me to try to be like, okay, if you're gonna do a link to this, then this, then this, then like, it's too complicated. It's just not worth it. Please just copy and paste what you got into the actual text box and turn it in that way, or upload a document. You can actually save Google Docs as a Microsoft Word document. Same thing with Pages. You can actually save things in Pages format and upload them, and it will accept it, and I can access them, but it won't show up in Canvas, just so you know. So really the best way for all of us, I guess, if we're using like discussions and things like that, is just to do your work in another app and then copy and paste it into the text box for the assignment and then upload it. And that makes it the easiest for me to grade and the easiest for you to view when you're reviewing your assignments after I've graded them. And if we're in a discussion, it makes it easier for people to see what you have to say, so they can respond to it. So that is just no links to assignments. And that goes for like Dropbox or any other, I don't know what those are even called, but they're like a cloud. Yeah, any other cloud service that allows you to do a link to stuff, don't use links because they don't work in Canvas. Okay, so when you're going through your syllabus, let's talk about that. So your syllabus is actually already up for you in Canvas, and I strongly urge you to go check that out right away. There is an assignment called the Syllabus Contract, and you will not be able to access any of the other assignments for this week. And remember, I told you there's like 5 or 6 assignments this week. So you won't be able to see anything else past that assignment until you complete it. And the reason why is because the contract actually goes over what's going to happen in the class. And the biggest deal that I want you to know is that there is going to be the use of profanity in the class. So like I will drop the F-bomb sometimes, or another student's materials that I've used as an example will be, in there, and maybe they've used a cuss word or something like that. to me, like, cuss words are no big deal. It doesn't bother me, but I know it bothers some people, so I'm just warning you. That is a thing. It will happen. So be prepared for that. The other thing is there's a lot of material in the class that is very, I will say, deep. It's like, it's emotional, it's personal. And we're going to be sharing a lot of personal stuff. And so I really want you guys to sign this contract saying that you understand that, like, this is going to be serious stuff. We're going to be talking about our emotional and personal issues that might be getting in the way of us being the best that we can be in school and in other areas of our life. And when we have to do those sorts of things and it's really personal, we can feel really vulnerable. And so I have you guys sign the contract, which says that you will keep anything that you talk about in the discussions in this class confidential, which is you're not going to tell other people about it. So don't go around talking to people about what other people have said in the class about themselves and their lives. And when you talk to me, I'm going to keep everything confidential as well. So if you tell me anything personal about yourself, I promise I will not share that with another soul. Not even like my family and friends. Like, I would not do that. I want to keep your information yours. And so I just want you guys to do that for each other as well. And so that's pretty much what the syllabus contract is about. There's a lot more in there, but you guys can take a look at it. And there's actually like a whole video that I've made for you about the syllabus contract and how to sign it. And there's also a video on how to use DocuSign to sign the syllabus contract. So that's something you need to do. But the syllabus is actually the blueprint for this class. And so all of the assignments, everything that's going to happen this term is in the syllabus. And so you really need to make sure that you're using the syllabus every week to see what you need to do. Because in Canvas, it's not really always obvious because there's a lot of different places where you can find stuff and there's a lot of different tabs and a lot of places to go. And so not everything in Canvas is listed in the same place. I don't know why, but it's just the way it is. So like if you go to just the assignment tab in Canvas, it'll give you the assignments, but it might not give you the quizzes or tests. And it might not give you all the discussions because those are in separate tabs. So the syllabus is really the only place where you can find all of the stuff that you need to do for each week. So the first thing you need to do for each week is check your syllabus. And if you do not check your syllabus, you will be sorry because I do have so at some point in the semester, I will mess up and I will forget to put a due date on an assignment or something like that. And if you're not looking at the syllabus, you might miss that assignment. But I'm still going to grade that assignment and I'm still going to count that assignment even if I mess up on the date because I'm saying now at the beginning, all of the information is in the syllabus. So if you see something in the syllabus, then you need to do it that week. And if you don't see it there, you should contact me and let me know because obviously I've made a mistake or an error, but I'm still going to hold you guys responsible for it if it's in the syllabus. I also will uphold the syllabus. So like if there's something that I say is supposed to happen in the syllabus and it doesn't happen the way it's supposed to, you guys can just be like, hey, Dr. Borghi, what the heck? Why is this not like this? And I will fix it. If I've made an error and I didn't go by the syllabus properly, then I will still honor the syllabus. Okay? So the syllabus is really like the place to make sure that you're on track. And so every week I will tell you, get out your day planner, look at the syllabus, take the assignments, the list of assignments from your syllabus and your readings and put them into your day planner and figure out when you're going to do it throughout the week. And there's a whole video on how to use your day planner to do that. And you'll see that this week. Okay. So you're going to check the syllabus for the reading. And then you will, and the homework, and then you will go to the modules tab in Canvas. So the modules tab is actually the place where you'll find all of the information that goes with your assignments. So if you're just looking in the assignments tab, you are missing a lot of stuff because the assignments are great. And yes, that's how we measure your points and what you're doing in the class. But a lot of the assignments, like if you don't have the materials that go with it, you're going to do poorly on the assignments. And the materials for those assignments, like the PowerPoint, videos, handouts, information, basically. All the information that goes along with the assignments is in the modules tab. So you want to use the modules tab to look at it'll show you all of the weeks that are open. So this week you'll see there's a course introduction in the modules tab, and then you'll see there's a week 1. And there's assignments and things in both of them. So you want to make sure you go through all of the information in modules for that week before you do the assignments, okay? What I would do, and this is me, but you can do however you want, but what I do is I like to just click on each thing individually and kind of see what's there, so I can sort of see what do I have to do this week. Just get a feel for it before I actually dive in and start working. I try to get that overview. So I click on each thing and kind of say, okay, there's a PowerPoint here, there's a video here, there's assignment here, you know? So with modules view, you can kind of see what it looks like. And I actually think I have a video on how to navigate Canvas. So if you go to the how to navigate Canvas video, I will show you how to go to the modules tab and how to kind of toggle things so you can actually open weeks up and close them up. So it makes it easier to kind of scroll through and whatnot. So there is a list of all the current assignments at the top of each week in module view that mirrors the syllabus. So, you know, you can kind of look at that and compare it to your syllabus and make sure everything looks the same to you and that you're not missing anything, okay? And that's why it's there. And if there's any updates to, like, let's say I update something in the syllabus and I want to update it, I will be placing any updates in that spot at the very top of each module in module view. And the only way you can access it is module view. So make sure you go to module view and check out the weeks that way. I also will put up an announcement if I add an assignment or change an assignment or delete an assignment. These things happen sometimes. Sometimes I will add extra credit assignments and I will just let you guys know in the announcements, like, hey, I added another assignment. But I'll also put that information in module view at the very top of the week for each week. Okay, so if there's any changes, that's where they will be. Okay, then you're gonna do the reading for the week first, then go through and watch the videos and look through the materials, the PowerPoints and all of that stuff, and then complete your assignments. And I would say complete the discussions last, because that way you have the most information because you've gone through the whole week's worth of stuff. And so you'll have more to offer and to share and to talk about when you get to the discussions. And I do try to, I guess, keep everything in some kind of order that makes sense in Canvas. So I try to group things together. So I'll have like chapter 4 stuff is here and habit 4 stuff is here. So because we have like chapters are in this book and then habits are in this book. So this will be like chapter 4 and this will be like habit 4. Yeah. So I try to keep them all separated so you can kind of see which things relate to which thing. They're very similar types of books. This book, I'm really fond of this book. It's not a textbook. And a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, it's for teens. What? You know, we're not teens, but it actually is for students. And it is written for high school students, but I really think college students could get a lot more out of it than a high school student would. So I actually feel like every time I read this book, I get something else out of it that I didn't get before. And, you know, I'm 44, so, you know, if I'm getting stuff out of this book, like, I can imagine that you'll probably get stuff out of it too. I don't know how old you are, but I don't think it matters how old you are. If you're in school, if you're in college, this is helpful. Yeah, it'll change your life if you let it. Okay, so you do have to turn in your homework by 11:59 p.m. on Monday. So it'll appear in the week. If it's in this week's stuff, it's due the following Monday. So you have like a whole week to do all the work. Okay, we're halfway through because I've got the front page back, the back page. Okay, so, number 5, no late homework. No late homework. So if your work is not in before 11:59 p.m. on Monday, then it's late. And if it's late, you'll get no credit for it. Canvas actually closes the assignment at 11:59 p.m. and I actually think Canvas is a few minutes ahead. So like if you look at your clock and you think you've got 5 minutes, you've really got like 3 minutes because Canvas is like 2 minutes ahead of like my iPhone. Like my iPhone clock, it's 2 minutes ahead of the iPhone clock. So just letting you know so you can plan accordingly. But again, if you turn in your work early, like Friday or Saturday, then you won't have to worry about like rushing and trying to get everything in before the deadline. Because I do have a lot of people who message me, especially on the first time the homework is due, that are like, I was turning in the assignment and it was still 11:58, and it closed. Yeah, it does. It closes. So don't cut it that short. Like, give yourself plenty of time to turn it in, because Canvas can take some time to upload sometimes. It depends on your internet connection and how things are going. And I would never want to leave things to chance. I have Charter Spectrum internet. I would never trust Charter Spectrum internet to be there for me at 11:50, turning in my work at the last minute. I always turn in my stuff ahead of time. Just always. I wasn't always like that, but I am now. I've learned. Okay, so next. For this class, this is how much time it's going to take you per week to get stuff done. Because this is a 8-week class, we're taking 18 weeks, which is like this much, and shrinking it down into 8 weeks, which means, but we're not sacrificing any of the material. Like, you still have to learn everything that people taking the 18-week class have to learn. Yes, there's some assignments that you don't have to do because you're doing this 8-week class. But I think the challenge for the 8-week class is just managing your time, because there's just so much every single week, because we do have to cover everything. So the time required for the class, 3 hours of reading a week out of both of your books, so 3 hours total. 3 hours of reading stuff in Canvas and looking at materials and doing things, not the assignments, but just the other stuff. And then 3 hours of homework. So that's 9 hours a week for this class. And that is, I would say, a pretty accurate estimate about how long it takes. And I've talked to a lot of my students who have finished the class, and I've said, was that 9 weeks estimate kind of right on? Or, and some of them are like, I could get it done a little faster than that. And then I've had some that are like, it took me like more like 12 hours. So I think it just depends on how quickly you work and how in depth you go into the material. Obviously, if you don't read or you don't, go over anything, it will take you less time, but you'll miss out on a lot of valuable information that will be helpful to you. Because I don't know if I've mentioned this, but this class is actually not just about being a good student. It's about being a good person. It's about being more efficient and better at time management. It's about just, I guess, being more effective, being a more effective person. So like, if you have goals that you want to accomplish, I'll be going over how to set goals, how to, accomplish those goals, and what is the difference between somebody who actually accomplishes their goals versus someone that doesn't. So we'll be talking about this kind of stuff. But all the things that I give you to review, I give them to you for a reason, because I know that they will help you if you allow them to help you. And I've been teaching this class a very long time. I think my first year teaching Guidance 507 was actually 2007? Maybe 2008, something like that. So it's been a hot minute since I've been teaching this class, and I think I'm the only instructor that's been here that long. So you guys got the right instructor. If you want someone who has kind of been through teaching this class a million times, like, I'm the person. But because I've done this so many times, it's sort of like, sometimes I forget how life-changing this class really can be for people, because I sort of become like I see it all the time, and I become used to it. But when I first started teaching this class, I remember watching people go through these huge transformations where they would start out like, I'm here, and just completely change by the end of the term for the better, becoming more efficient, becoming a better time manager, understanding themselves more, figuring out why they procrastinate and how they overcome those things, and overcoming procrastination for a lot of them. I still keep in touch with so many of my students, because I did assist them in such a huge journey, such an amazing transformation. And so that will happen to you too, if you let it. But I would say doing your reading is probably the best way to ensure that you will make that transformation happen. If you're just kind of half-assing things, then you're obviously not going to get as much out of the class as someone who's putting in their full 100% effort. All right, so moving along here. There's some large assignments in this class that are worth a torque ton of points, and so let's talk about them. These are called the Success Center assignments in this class, and there are 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. So the first one's mindset. Second one is learning strategies. I think it's learning strategies. And the third one is time management. And so this is an exercise in time management. And yes, we want you to succeed, but you have to be the person that does the stuff to be successful. Each one of those assignments is worth 500 points. And generally, assignments in my class are about 20 to 40 points each. So these 3 each are worth 500, which is worth 1,500 points, which is about half your grade. It's actually a little more than half your grade. So if you miss one, that will take your grade down 1 letter grade. If you miss 2, that will take you down 2 letter grades. And most people who miss 2 cannot pass the class, mostly because they haven't done any of the other work if they're also missing 2 Success Center assignments. I do offer extra credit for completing the Success Center assignments in the first week that they're offered. So each one of the assignments is offered for 2 weeks. This week is mindset, and it begins right away. So on Monday, when you first open this video, you can actually go to the Success Center online and virtually attend the mindset meeting. I have a spot in the course introduction that talks about how to access the workshops, and there's a schedule. So you just click on the schedule and you figure out when you want to go, and then you go to the Zoom room for the BTH Success Center. So, and it's only the BTH Success Center that you can complete these at, nowhere else. So you'll go to their Zoom room 10 minutes before the meeting time listed in the schedule. You should have your student ID with you if you have it. If you do not have a student ID, please have your student ID number ready, and please also follow the instructions in that assignment to get a backup or a new student ID if you do not have one, because you will need that student ID for a lot of things on campus and whatnot. But you can still attend the workshop if you don't have a student ID, as long as you have your student ID number ready to go. That's what I've been told. In the past, when we were not in like COVID times, you did have to have an ID or they would just turn you away. But because the process takes a little longer to get an ID, and since you only have 2 weeks to complete each workshop and there were so many points, we were kind of like, we better let them attend even if they don't have their ID, but we do want you to get your ID anyways. Okay, so you'll go, the workshops take about 45 minutes. They're led by an instructor from the Success Center who will talk about the topic. So this one's on mindset. So you'll be talking about growth mindset versus fixed mindset. These are all concepts that we'll also be covering in class. So I'll be giving you information about fixed mindset and growth mindset, but it's different information. And you'll be able to talk more in depth and in detail with the success guide that's going to be leading you through the workshops. So you'll have 2 weeks to do mindset, but if you do it during the first week, I will give you 40 points of extra credit. And I will do that for all of them. So weeks 1 and 2 are mindset, weeks 3 and 4 are learning strategies, and weeks 5 and 6 are time management. And if you do each one in that first week it's offered, you'll get extra 40 points. And trust me, you will need those extra 40 points. Please just get the workshop done right away. Do not wait till the last minute. If you wait till the last minute, sometimes the workshops fill up and you can't get in because they've already got like 12 people in the workshop, and I think that's where they cap it. And if you are too late and that was the last workshop and you miss it, that means you're out 500 points and a whole letter grade. So this is something that you really don't want to leave to the last minute. And this is a test of time management skills. So we're looking to see that you can schedule and plan and attend, and you can do it 3 times throughout the term. So, hey, not everybody can do it. I've seen some people who just can't stay on top of everything because they're not using their day planner, or they don't have a way of organizing themselves, and they just try to remember everything in their head, and then sometimes they forget stuff, and unfortunately sometimes it's the 500-point assignment that will make or break them in the class. So please don't miss the Success Center assignments. I mean, I want to see you succeed, but when I see you like not complete a Success Center, I'm like, dang, that's a whole letter grade. Please don't do that. But I can't help it. You have to do it. I can't do it for you. And I am obligated by the program to not allow you to make up these assignments because they are part of the program. They're not my assignments, they're the program's assignments. So like, I'm not even in charge of them. The Success Centers are in charge of them. If you have a question about something with these assignments, direct it towards the Success Center, because I don't know, because it's not my assignment. I just collect, that you did it. So when you're done with the workshop, you've completed it. It will take several weeks for me to get your grade up. You don't have to report anything. All you have to do is show up, and they will put you on a list. And then when the workshop closes, at the end of the 2 weeks, when the workshop closes, they'll send me a list of all the students who attended that workshop. But sometimes it takes them like 4 or 5 days to give me that information. So by the time I get it and put it in, it's like a week after that workshop has closed. So a lot of people get antsy during that time. Like, did you get my Success Center? Yes, usually I get them all. I've only had a couple people who attended one that somehow didn't end up on the list. So I would say they do send you a confirmation email that you attended the meeting. Just hang on to that, just as insurance, just in case. Just in case something goes wrong and I don't get you on the report that says that you completed it, at least you have a backup. And usually they have the information that they just didn't report it properly or something. We always figure it out, okay? If you attended, you'll get credit, promise. Okay, so if you decide you don't want to take the class anymore, like even this week, like right now, if you're like, oh, this sounds like a lot of work, I don't know if I want to do this, please go officially drop yourself in my Chafee view, because I will not drop you. Once you've entered the class, like if you're watching this video right now, that means I will never drop you from the class. You will remain in the class unless you drop yourself. But if you stop coming and you don't drop yourself, you will end up with an F in the class. And it's called an FW, which is a fail to withdraw, but it still counts as an F on your GPA, towards your GPA. So, and I don't like to give FWs, but again, like I said, I don't drop people from the class once they've entered the class. So unless there's like an emergency situation, I don't do it otherwise. So please drop yourself from the class if you're not going to continue. I had a couple students, I think I had 3 last semester that got FWs because they stopped coming and they didn't drop themselves from the class. And maybe they're thinking in their head like, well, I'm not going to continue at Chafee. This is it. I decided I'm going to drop out, so it doesn't matter if I get an FW. But it's like, what if in 10 years you want to come back to school and now you've got an FW on a guidance class that may or may not even exist? You might not be able to retake it in 10 years to replace that grade because not all schools have this class. So if you go to another school, so I'm just saying, like, even if you think you might not ever come back to college, you might. You never know. Life is long. So drop yourself from the class. If you're not sure whether you should drop or not, like you maybe you missed a Success Center activity and you're like, I'm already down a whole letter grade. Like, am I still going to be able to pass? If you're concerned, yeah, you can still pass if you miss one Success Center, but it does depend on what other work you've already done. Like if you've done nothing and then you also miss the first one, it's like if you miss 2 weeks worth of work plus that, maybe you won't be able to pass. But if you've done all your other work and you just happen to miss this one Success Center, yes, you could probably still pass. So it just depends on your situation. And so at that point, if you're not sure or you're looking at your grade and going, oh, I don't like what I see, then just set up a meeting with me and I'll go over your grade with you. I'll go through it with you. I'll explain to you what you need to do. I'll let you know if you are in a position to pass or not. I also want you to know that when we get close to the drop deadline, I will do like grade checks for everybody and I will let you know if you're in danger, okay? And we can talk about it. And I will have some office hours available as well. where we can talk about your grades and things like that. So it's usually like an open office hour, and you can just kind of drop by, and I'll meet with each student for about 5 minutes and just go over your grade and make sure things are good before sending you on your way. My goal is to help you pass. Like, I want all of you to pass the class. But, I don't want to give it to you, like, here you go, I want you to earn it. Like, you'll have to work for it, but the work that you're doing to get there is going to be work that will improve you as a person and make you more effective as a student as well. Okay, so back to number 9, which is modules view. Yeah, make sure you use modules view. I'm going to say that one more time, just like, hey, look at the modules view. That's where all of the information is, like all of the PowerPoints, all of my lectures, all of the most important parts of the class, besides the assignments and things. But the assignments are there too. Everything's there. That's why I like module view. Everything is there. It's all there. So you want to use that. For number 10, you want to turn in all your work on Canvas. Like I said, only turn in work to my email if Canvas isn't working for some reason and you're at the deadline. Number 11, take notes on your reading. We will be going over how to do good notes on reading when you're reading. We're going to be covering this thing called muscle reading. It's a little like SQ3R if you've tried that before, but if you haven't, don't worry about it because we'll explain it when we get there. But if you're reading, you should be taking notes while you're reading because it keeps you engaged with the reading, and then also you have notes to study off of when you're done, so you don't have to like go back and reread the book, which no one does anyways. So I find that like instead of highlighting the book, like for me, it works better just taking some notes on the side, and they don't have to be too complicated, just enough to where I can remember what I read, which is good. Okay, so number 12, I said don't rely on this assignments tab because like I said, there's other things like discussions. There's a discussions tab, there's an assignments tab, and there's a quizzes and tests tab. And all 3 of those contain different types of assignments. But if you're only looking at one of them, you're obviously going to be missing the other assignments. That's why you should always look at the syllabus because it has all the assignments. It has all the tests, quizzes. We do have a quiz in here every single week. And the first quiz is going to cover what's in the syllabus, and I think chapter 1 in On-Course and habit 1. So you guys will see all of that in the syllabus when you take a look at it. Let's see. Well, 13 is updates are always occurring in announcements, but I've already told you like 3 times to make sure you check the announcements regularly. How to reach me. So the best way to reach me, like I said, is via text 909-224-1204. My email, Amy, and then my last name is Borghi @chaffey.edu. And again, those things are in the syllabus too. If you need me like right away, then text me. That's the best way, or call me. If it can wait a couple days, then email me. Number 15, the internet breaking policy. I think I already went over that, so I don't have to do that again. Number 16, turn in work early. Went over that too. Number 17, success in our activities. Went over that. Number 18, use day planner. Oh yeah. Okay, so using a day planner, let's talk about like how I want you to use it just briefly. So let's say this is my day planner. I'm gonna open it up. I'm gonna get my syllabus out. Not the assignments list on Canvas, my syllabus. Okay, so I look at the syllabus, find the week, and then in my day planner, I'm going to write down all of the assignments, and you can do this one of 2 ways. You can either write it all on the due date and then go back and figure out when you're going to do each assignment, or you can write it in at the beginning of the week, like on Monday, and then fill in when you're going to turn in each assignment and the due date. So it's up to you how you want to do it, but essentially the part that's really important is figuring out when you have time to actually do it and then follow through. And what I recommend is building a study schedule into your schedule that's kind of the same every week. So I don't know what your schedules are like, but what I like to do for grading for you guys, like you guys will turn in your work on Monday, and then I usually don't grade on Tuesdays, but if I have time, I do. And on Wednesday, I will grade for a couple hours. And then on Thursday, I'll grade for a couple hours. And on Friday, hopefully, I will be done by Friday. But if I'm not, I'll finish up whatever I need to do. So I usually devote about 2 hours of grading on, Wednesday, 2 hours of grading on Thursday, and then whatever is left on Friday. And that way I'm done with all my grading by the time the weekend comes. So I try to plan it like that. And when I do my grading, I have a little desk that I sit at, that I kind of sit at when I'm doing any kind of work, whether it's work for as a teacher or work for my other jobs. I have a place where I sit and work that's kind of the same place every time. So when I sit down at my desk, my brain immediately goes, oh, it's time to work. We're sitting at the desk. I don't sit at my desk when I'm not working. So it just helps it helps my brain to be like, oh yeah, work mode. Whenever I sit here, it's work mode. So I would suggest trying those tips out for yourself. The other thing is, while you're working, maybe have something to play with, like a sensory tool. Now, sensory tools are just basically stuff that you can play with that, has some kind of texture to it, or, that you can sort of just mess around with. And for me, I find it hard to read or focus or do anything that I need to do unless I'm kind of fidgeting with something. And so I have a lot of toys and things that I can play with that are they're silent, they're not going to bother the people around me, but I can kind of mess with them. And I'm a girl, so I can always have a little scrunchie. And I find that I will play with my scrunchie. Well, I'll be putting up my hair and then taking it back down, and whatever. But while I'm busy doing that and my hands are busy, it allows my brain to focus more because my hands are busy doing something. I don't know why it works, but it just works. So you might want to try that if you haven't already. Just try kind of keeping your hands busy while you're trying to read or while you're trying to do something else. You might also want to try doing something physical while you're working. Like if you have a treadmill or something, or you go to the gym, bring your reading with you and try reading while you're walking or something, because that does work for a lot of people. Okay, so moving right along. I did talk about the syllabus contract already, but I'm just going to reiterate that if you notice in Canvas that you can't move on, you're stuck, it's because you need to mark items as done. So there's a little circle at the bottom right. And I've even seen it on the bottom left sometimes because it kind of glitches out sometimes. But you have to go through the material and then click on that little button at the bottom of the page that says you've done it in order to move on. But with the syllabus contract, it will not allow you to move on until you turn in the assignment. So that's the only one that's like that. Everything else is a mark as done where you click at the bottom. I do have a video showing how to mark as done in the course introduction, and I think probably at the beginning of right before where you're going to get to that syllabus contract. So just know that, like I said, if you don't watch this video all the way through, you will probably get stuck. And if you get stuck, just call me and I will let you know what you need to do, which is you got to go through and mark everything as done. It is kind of annoying, and I'm very sorry to be annoying the first week, but it's the only way that I have found in which I can get you guys to actually sign that contract before you do the other stuff. And so, yes, it's going to be annoying for some people, and it's going to kind of confuse some people, but maybe it will encourage you to reach out to me and we can talk, and at least then, hey, I get to say hi to you and you get to say hi to me, which is cool. Or you'll watch this video and you'll get it and you'll understand that you need to click on the little circle at the bottom of each page to open up the next page. And you'll need to actually turn in the syllabus contract in order to move on to the other assignments past that. So very important. There's also a frequently asked questions page that is in Canvas, and it's also in your syllabus as well. So if you read it in the syllabus, you don't need to worry about it reading it again in Canvas. You can just mark it as done because you already know. But there is a video there as well where I go over all the frequently asked questions, and I'm not going to take the time to do that here, even though I probably answered some of those questions here. But that's pretty much it. So I hope that
I hope that this video is helpful. And I really am looking forward to meeting all of you virtually. I cannot wait to see what this semester holds. Or it's not a semester. It's it's actually, what do they call it when it's just 8 weeks? I just call it a term, I guess. Is it a quarter? It's not really a quarter. I don't know. So this term, I look forward to getting to know each and every one of you. And of course, I'm here if you need anything. If you got any questions, problems, concerns, etc., I'm here for you. Happy to help you. And I really look forward to, I guess, seeing what all of you guys can do with the material that I have, put together for you. And I guess that's it. So thank you so much for sitting through this entire video. And I wish you guys all a great rest of the day. Bye.